He is not coming back. That is the sentence being whispered in NFL front offices right now, and by the end of this video you will understand exactly why. If you clicked on this video because you have a bad feeling about the Dallas Cowboys this summer, you are not alone. Because right now, quietly, behind closed doors at the Star in Frisco, Jerry Jones and his front office are working the phones on a trade that could completely flip the identity of this team before a single preseason snap is played. Front office insiders are calling it one of the boldest moves Dallas has considered in years, and by the time training camp opens at the end of this month, this could already be done. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes I am going to walk you through the full story, the names involved, the numbers behind it, and the one insider report that started this entire firestorm. But before we go further, I need 60 seconds of your time. If you are new here, welcome to the family. This channel exists because of people exactly like you, people who love this team through the highs and the heartbreaks, through the playoff droughts and the moments that make it all worth it. Every single subscriber genuinely helps this channel keep bringing you fast, accurate Cowboys coverage the day it happens, not days later. So if you believe in what we are building here, do me a personal favor and hit that subscribe button right now, tap the bell so you never miss a breaking story, and drop a comment telling me where you are watching from. It costs you nothing, and it means everything to this channel. Now let's get into it. Here is something most casual fans do not know, and it is the key to understanding everything that is about to happen. 15 seconds from now, I am going to tell you the exact financial number that is forcing Dallas into this decision, and once you hear it, you will understand why this trade might not just be likely, it might be unavoidable. So do not skip ahead, because this number changes the entire conversation. That number is $27.3 million. That is what wide receiver George Pickens is set to collect in 2026 on the franchise tag, a number that represents a big jump from his rookie deal but still falls short of what the truly elite receivers around the league are earning. 9 wide receivers right now are attached to contracts averaging $30 million or more per year, and Pickens is not one of them, at least not yet. When Dallas acquired Pickens in a trade last year, both sides chose not to rush into a long-term extension. That decision put enormous pressure on Pickens to prove himself in 2025, and he delivered, putting up career-best numbers across the board. Now, heading into a contract year under the tag, everything is on the table. There have been whispers that Pickens could consider what is called a hold-in, showing up for mandatory activities but refusing to fully practice, a tactic recent players have used to force a team's hand on a new deal. If that happens, and if Dallas cannot find common ground with Pickens and his camp before the season, the front office may be forced to explore trade scenarios rather than risk losing him for nothing in free agency down the road. That is scenario number 1, and it is the one nobody wants to talk about, but it is very real. Now let's rewind for a second and set the stage, because to understand where this team is going, you need to understand where it has been. The Dallas Cowboys are coming off a 2025 season that ended at 7 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. Not the disaster some feared, but nowhere close to the Super Bowl expectations that follow this franchise every single year. After that season, ownership did something Cowboys fans have been begging for. They made real, structural changes to the coaching staff, specifically on defense. Christian Parker was brought in as the new defensive coordinator, and this offseason the front office rebuilt the defensive roster specifically to fit his scheme. That tells you everything about the mindset in Dallas right now. This is not a team standing pat. This is a front office that knows the clock is ticking and is willing to make uncomfortable, aggressive moves to fix what has been broken for years. On offense, the story is different. Multiple analysts around the league have pointed out that Dallas actually has the pieces right now to win a Super Bowl on that side of the ball. New faces, established stars, and a genuine sense that this offense could be one of the most explosive units in the NFC. But here is the twist that connects directly to our shocking trade storyline. With that kind of pressure mounting, and with a fanbase that has waited 3 decades for a real championship run, the margin for error on defense is razor thin. And that is exactly why insiders believe Dallas is not done making moves, not even close. Let's talk about what has already happened this offseason, because understanding the moves Dallas has already made tells you exactly what direction they are heading in next. On the defensive line, Dallas already swung one significant trade, bringing in Rashawn Gary to bolster the edge rush. Combine him with Donovan Ezeuruka entering his 2nd season, James Houston, Sam Williams, and rookie Malachi Lawrence, and on paper Dallas actually has more depth at edge rusher than they have had in years. But depth on paper does not always mean production on the field, and that is why one name keeps surfacing again and again in trade rumor columns across the league: Alex Highsmith of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here is why this one matters so much. Highsmith has 45 sacks in 90 career games, real, proven production, not projection. The Steelers recently made the decision to extend a different linebacker, Nick Herbig, and that decision has fueled speculation that Highsmith could become available on the trade market before the season even starts. League insiders have floated a scenario where Dallas would need to send a third-round pick along with a veteran player to pry him away from Pittsburgh. Now, some analysts have pushed back and said, wait, does Dallas really need another pass rusher when they already added Gary and Lawrence this offseason? And that is a fair question. But here is the counterpoint that has front offices buzzing. After everything Dallas went through defensively in 2025, having too many good pass rushers is not a problem, it is a luxury. It is the kind of problem winning teams pray for. At linebacker, Dallas has already been busy too, and this is where things get interesting for our bigger story. On day 2 of the draft this year, Dallas made a trade with the San Francisco 49ers, sending a 5th-round pick to acquire linebacker D. Winters. Winters is a 3-year veteran who started 17 games last season for the first time in his career, but here is the catch, he is not under contract beyond this season. That is a 1-year rental, and rentals like that often signal one thing in the NFL, a front office building toward a specific window, a window they believe is right now. After landing Winters, Dallas doubled down by drafting Jyshawn Barham out of Michigan in the 3rd round, a player many see as a potential long-term answer at the position. As things currently stand, Damone Clark, Overshown and Winters look like the starting linebacker tandem, with Barham, Justin Barron and Curtis Robinson all fighting for snaps behind them. But insiders close to the situation say Dallas has not ruled out bringing in another veteran on top of everything else, and the front office has not even decided who will wear the green dot, the helmet communicator that designates the defensive play caller. When a team has not settled who is calling the defensive signals this deep into the offseason, that tells you the roster is still very much in motion. Now let's shift to the offensive side, because this is where the most shocking piece of this puzzle could be hiding in plain sight. Dak Prescott has a well-documented history of injuries in even-numbered years, and 2026 is, of course, an even-numbered year. That single fact has quietly become one of the most talked-about storylines inside Cowboys circles this offseason. It is why the quarterback room behind Prescott has suddenly become must-watch content for anyone who understands how fragile a season can become if your franchise quarterback goes down. Right now, Joe Milton and Sam Howell are locked in a genuine competition for the backup quarterback job, and normally, backup quarterback battles do not headline trade rumor conversations. But this year is different, because if Dallas has any doubts at all about their QB2 situation heading into camp, do not be surprised if the front office makes a call to another team's roster to shore up that depth chart before Week 1 arrives. It would not be flashy, it would not make headlines the way a superstar trade would, but insiders say it is exactly the kind of quiet, calculated move Jerry Jones has made before when he senses vulnerability at the most important position on the field. Let's talk about the offensive line now, because this is a real, tangible weak spot that insiders have zeroed in on. Over the past couple of seasons, Dallas relied on Brock Hoffman as a stellar backup center, but this offseason, in a move that surprised some fans, they chose not to re-sign him. Instead, they brought in Matt Hennessy, a former Atlanta Falcon, to fill that depth role. Hennessy looked like a solid, if unspectacular, option, until he suffered a neck injury that has forced Dallas to experiment with TJ Bass as a potential backup behind starting center Cooper Beebe. If the Dallas front office decides that Bass, or fellow option Nick Leverett, are not enough insurance at that position, insiders point directly to the Buffalo Bills as a likely trade partner. Buffalo currently has multiple options stacked behind their own starter, Connor McGovern, including 2024 5th-round pick Cedric Van Prangranger, veteran Lloyd Cushenberry, who has previously started for both the Broncos and the Titans, and Austin Corbett, who has real experience starting at guard and center. League sources believe Buffalo could look to move one of these players once they finalize their own depth chart, and Cushenberry in particular has been floated as the most likely name to be traded away. If Dallas moves on this, it will not make national news the way a blockbuster wide receiver trade would, but offensive line insiders will tell you, games are won and lost in the trenches, and a shrewd center trade could be the single most important move nobody saw coming. And now, running back. This might be the single most fascinating storyline of the entire Dallas offseason, because all signs right now point to Jaden Blue taking full advantage of an open opportunity to lock down the RB2 job behind starter Javonte Williams. Blue has reportedly been one of the standout performers of the entire offseason program, turning heads in every practice report that has leaked out of Frisco. But here is the concern that has front office analysts talking: even if Blue lives up to every bit of that hype, he is still an unproven, unpolished option if Javonte Williams were to miss extended time with an injury. And that is exactly why one name has repeatedly come up as a potential trade target for Dallas: Arizona Cardinals running back James Conner. Conner already has real chemistry working with Dallas offensive coordinator Clayton Adams from their time together, and with Arizona reportedly shifting their backfield focus toward younger backs Jeremiah Love and Tyler Allgeier, Conner could become available for what insiders describe as a relatively cheap price, potentially just a late-round draft pick. If that trade happens, it would give Dallas a proven, physical bruiser in the backfield as true insurance. Exactly the kind of move a front office makes when they believe they are one health scare away from their season falling apart. So let's step back for a moment and put all of these pieces together, because this is where the real shock value of this story comes into focus. You have a wide receiver on a franchise tag who could hold in or force a trade if a long-term deal is not reached. You have a proven pass rusher in Pittsburgh who could become available for a package built around a third-round pick. You have a one-year rental linebacker who signals Dallas is building for a specific championship window right now, not later. You have a quarterback with a documented pattern of even-year injuries and a backup competition that could be quietly upgraded before Week 1. You have an offensive line that just lost its top backup center to injury, with a division rival sitting on surplus depth at that exact position. And you have a rookie running back carrying the hopes of an entire backfield, with a former Pro Bowl caliber veteran waiting in the desert who already knows the offensive coordinator's system by heart. Any one of these trades on its own would be a solid, unremarkable roster move. But insiders who cover this team closely believe Dallas is not looking at these situations in isolation. They believe Jerry Jones and his front office see all of these dominoes lined up at once, and that the temptation to pull off something bigger, something that reshapes multiple position groups in a single aggressive stretch before training camp, has never been stronger. Remember, one of Dallas's trades from this very offseason has already been publicly labeled one of the best moves in the entire NFL, so this front office is clearly not afraid to be bold when the situation calls for it. Now here is where I want to bring in a piece of context that connects Dallas directly to the wider landscape of the NFL right now, and why the timing of all this matters so much. Cooper DeJean, the Philadelphia Eagles defensive back, recently spoke publicly about the Eagles trading away receiver A.J. Brown, and Cowboys fans reacted strongly to those comments, because it is a reminder of just how quickly a division rival can reshape their roster with one bold trade. Every time a team inside the NFC East makes a seismic move like that, it puts pressure on every other team in the division to respond. Dallas knows this better than anyone. They know that standing still while the Eagles or Commanders or Giants get aggressive is a recipe for another disappointing season, and that,